Hi guys, the end of the month is very close and that means we have to urgently prepare for next month. So it is once again time to pick my TBR, and I thought for this month we would go back to the TBR prompts. So these are the same prompts that I had 2 months ago, but we didn't actually get that many of them. Like, we didn't actually pick too many. So I feel like there's still a lot of unused prompts in here, and I'm really excited to pick some books. Unfortunately, I am in a bit of a reading slump, which is so sad, but I have just not been reading as much as I used to. I used to read, I would say, between like 4 to 6 books a month, usually with an average of like five. This month, I think I've maybe read three, which is so sad. And I think it is just because it's coming to summer. Like, I'm doing a lot more with my friends. I'm spending a lot more time outside. So unfortunately, there's just not as much time for reading left. But I'm still gonna pick, I think, 6 prompts, maybe just five, I don't know. And we will just make the best of it and see how much I get to. I think what I really need in this time of like a reading slump is romances, short books, fast-paced books, just books that are going to be very, very easy to read and that will get me out of my reading slump. Because last month I read, obviously, Utopia Avenue, which was just a bit more of like a denser and more intense and complex read, and I think I liked that book, obviously, but I probably could have read like 3 books in the time that it took me to read that one book. So yeah, just to put it into perspective, what we're aiming for this month is romances, short books, and like fast-paced books. So let's pick some prompts and choose some books. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle these around and then blindly choose one. Okay, we've got one. Let's look at what it is. Ooh! Okay, the first prompt that we got is prettiest cover. That is such a good one. I love a pretty cover, so let me go have a look what pretty covers I have on my shelves. Okay, I have picked out some options for the prompt of prettiest cover. Let's go through them. The first one is If We Were Villains by Amelie. This is the 5-year anniversary edition, and it's obviously so beautiful. It's got this like gold foil on it, and it's just overall a gorgeous book. Like, this is stunning, but unfortunately this doesn't really fit the bill of what we were asking for this month. It's not really short, it's not a romance. I don't necessarily know if this is very fast paced, so we're gonna see if we find something better. The second book I have for that prompt is The Mercies. It's already a bit shorter, and I think this cover is absolutely gorgeous. Isn't this the prettiest cover you have ever seen? I love the colours, I love the red, I love the waves, like, it just screams beauty to me. But unfortunately, again, I don't think this is very fast paced. I don't think this is very easy to read. So as much as I would love to choose this one, and I might choose this one, but I feel like we can maybe find something better. Then next I have Starling House. Again, this is just such a gorgeous cover. Like, this is so pretty. I'm obsessed with this cover, with the birds, the colours, everything. But again, it's a fantasy and I'm just not in the mood. Like, I'm just not in the mood for like a fantasy where I have to commit to like a world and world building and like magic systems and everything. So I just don't know if it's the right time for this one. Okay, my last pick might be a bit controversial. I feel like a lot of people will disagree and say that this cover is not pretty, but I'm obsessed with it, and that is My Best Friend's Exorcism. Look, it looks like an 80s horror movie DVD or like a 90s horror movie, and I just think it looks so cool. I love the like mixed media format, the entire like setup of this. Like, I love Grady Hendrix's uniqueness of his stories and how the kind of content is often reflected in the covers, and I think I want to read this. I'm so in the mood for a thriller. I have loved everything well, not everything that I've read from Grady Hendrix, but I loved a lot of his books before, so I feel like this will be a really good pick, and I feel like if I read this, it'll be fast-paced, it'll get me out of my reading slump, it will be a really good, like, thriller, horror to read. I don't actually know what this is about, but I think this is going to be, like, similar to, like, a paranormal horror movie. There's probably going to be an exorcism in this. I'm ready to have the horror movie vibes. I'm so excited. And so yeah, I think this is going to be my first pick. 1 prompt down, 5 more to go. Let's do prompt number 2. Got one. What is this? Ooh, a red cover. Red cover. I have a lot of red books, I think. Let's have a look. Turns out I have a lot of books with the red spines, but the actual cover is not red, so I was tricked by my bookshelves into thinking that I had more red covers than I did. But I have found 3, so let's have a look. The first one, once again, is Anxious People. I won't talk too much about this because I've already held it up in so many videos, but this is obviously an option. The second one we have is Rules for Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. This is once again a thriller, and it's quite short, and this is about, I think, how there's these like 8 murders and they are copied from like popular books. So for example, one of the murders is like copied from, I don't know, an Agatha Christie or like The Secret History, and they get replicated in real life by like a killer, and our protagonist probably has to find that killer. So it sounds really good. And lastly, the third book that I have is Exciting Times by Neja Dolan. I would say that this is definitely very red. And this is also really, really short, and this is a literary fiction about a girl who goes on like a gap year to Hong Kong, I believe. Yep. So these are our 3 choices. We've got these 3 books, so I don't know what to pick. I don't know which one to choose. I want to read Exciting Times because I think this will be like a really short read, it'll be a fast read. I've read something by Neja Dolan and it was like very quick, very easy. I also do want to read Rules for Perfect Murders because a thriller is always good. However, I did just read another Peter Swanson book and I wasn't obsessed with it. So I'm unsure. I'm unsure if I want to give him another chance immediately, like so close after reading another book by him that I didn't love. So I feel like I might leave this one. Okay, I think I've made a decision. I think we're going to pick Exciting Times by Neja Dolan, just because I don't want to pick another thriller. I want to pick something really short, and this is, I think, under 300 pages. Yeah, it's just like 270 pages. So this will be a fast read. I have read something from this author before and it was an okay read. It was fast, it was easy, so I think I'm gonna give this one a go. Okay, 3rd time's a charm. Let's pick another prompt. I'm gonna go for that one. Ooh, a recommendation from a friend. That is a good prompt. Let me look at some books that have been recommended to me by friends. So let's have a look. Okay, I have chosen 5 books that have been recommended to me by my friends, so let's get into it. Number 1 is Business or Pleasure. This one is actually lent to me by a friend. I actually borrowed this one from my friend Julia, and she really enjoyed this. It's just a very easy, fun, fluffy romance with a little bit of smut, but not too much. So it sounds really fun, it sounds really good. And I definitely do need to read this because I obviously need to give the book back to her. So this is definitely a very good choice. Next up, we have a book that was actually recommended to me in the comments under a video by my friend and that is Bright Young Women. She said that this was just a really touching book and it has such a dark subject matter. And this is a thriller, I believe, of like these women who are victims to serial killers, I think. And yeah, I'm just very excited to read this. I love a thriller. I'm obsessed with stories about like kind of like not true crime, not serial killers in the real sense, but like fictional serial killers, and especially stories that highlight the victims and kind of what happens to the women. I don't think we should obviously glamorize and like romanticize serial killers at all, but I think we should highlight the lives of the women and the victims in the situations. So I really am keen to read this and see if the story does exactly that. Then next we have a book that was recommended to me by my friend Kiala, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm not sure we're gonna choose this one today. I don't think this fits our like criteria for books today, because it's a fantasy and it's, I think, 600 pages long, so I don't think we're choosing this one. But just to include it, Kiala did recommend this to me. Next, we have a recommendation from my friend Sharon, I think. I'm pretty sure she recommended this to me at the beginning of the year. And that is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. This would fit the bill perfectly because it's short. I believe it's a quite fast, easy read. And I think it's like a literary fiction, but I could be wrong. And it does say on the back that it's one of the like best books for summer. So this is definitely a really good choice. And lastly, we have another repeat, and that is The Mercies, because this was recommended by my friend Azia. Again, I won't pick it this time, but just to give a shout out to Azia, she did recommend this to me. Yeah, I think our three like contenders are Business of Pleasure, Bright Young Women, and Our Wives Under the Sea. And I think I'm gonna go for Business of Pleasure this time, just because I do actually need to give the physical book back to my friend. So I do want to put this on the TBR and prioritize it. But I think my second choice would have been Our Wives Under the Sea. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe find another prompt where I can pick this one, because I would love to have it on my TBR, but I just need to prioritize Business or Pleasure right now. That sounded very funny. I need to prioritize business or pleasure. Neither is getting prioritized for me right now. Currently, the thing we're prioritizing is bed rotting, and it's not good. Okay, 3 books down, 3 more to go. We're at the halfway point, but we have 3 more prompts that could be very exciting, so let's go. I want to pick ones that I've never had before. I think this one. This one's a good one. I can feel it. Ooh, okay. One word title. One word title. Let me have a look what one word titles I have, because currently I can't think of like a single book. I surprisingly have very few one word titles on my TBR that I'm also like interested in reading. So we don't have that many choices, but let's have a look. The first one is Icebreaker. In English, this is definitely a one word title. So this is a romance, I believe, between a hockey player and a figure skater, if I am not mistaken. So yeah, it's not the shortest, but I have heard that it's just full of smut and like easy to read, and I'm kind of in the mood for that, so this is definitely a contender. Okay, this one I'm actually not sure if you write mother thing together or if it's 2 separate words, so I don't actually know if this counts for a one word title. Please let me know. I'm gonna try and find out how they spell it. Okay, here it's spelled as one word. That is definitely one word, so I'm gonna say it counts. I'm gonna say it counts as a one word title. I'm actually not sure what this is about. It's just kind of a weird book about, I believe, a couple who move in with their mother-in-law, and like they detest each other, or they're like haunted by the mother-in-law. I think something like that. It sounds really fun. So I'm gonna go for this one, because you know what? I love a weird book. It's also really short. I believe it's also just, yeah, under 300 pages, so perfect for what we need this month. And I just feel like reading weird books right now. Like, I just want something creepy, something crazy. Yeah. 2 more prompts to go. Let's pick number 5. Okay, that was fast. Oh no. No. I didn't want this prompt. I hate this prompt. The prompt is, give a DNF a second chance. I DNF books for a reason. I don't want to give them a second chance. I also actually do not DNF a lot of books. Like, this is a very rare thing for me. So if I DNF a book, it's usually for a reason. So the fact that I have this prompt makes me mad. I don't know why I ever wrote it down because I shouldn't have, but I guess here we are. I actually only have 2 physical books and then 1 ebook that I have DNF'd on my like current TBR. I think I had books that I DNF'd, but I got rid of them. So there's currently only 3 choices for me. The first one, once again, being The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. I didn't really DNF this, but I started this on audiobook, got maybe 1 chapter in, and immediately realized that audiobook was not the right format for this one. And I just realized that if I wanted to read this, I would have to read it physically. So this is an option, but once again, I don't really want to choose this because it's so big and I won't pick it up. Like, even if I choose this, I can realistically tell you that I probably will not read it this month just because I don't see myself having the time. So, I don't know. The other book that I have DNF'd on my physical TBR is That Green-Eyed Girl. I spoke about this in my like physical TBR video about how I think I got like, my bookmark's even still in here. I got like this far into it and I just couldn't vibe with the timelines because it was kind of historical, but I just didn't vibe with it. But I think this is kind of our only choice because I don't really have any other books. I have a 3rd book as an ebook, and that is the new Ashley Winstead. What's it called? Midnight is the Darkest Hour? I think it's Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. I got 50% through that one, but it had a similar issue that it was sort of historical, but just set in like a very weird time where I just did not vibe with it. It was very like, I think like 70s or 60s Southern America. And I just didn't vibe with it. I didn't like that, and so I DNF'd it like 50% through. I don't want to pick up either of these 3 books, but I think our best bet is probably That Green-Eyed Girl. It's not too long. It's maybe like 380 pages. It has quite big text, so it should be easy to read. I might just have to force my way through this. I'm not excited about this, but I guess we have to put it on the TBR. And we are down to the last prompt, so let's pick something. Hopefully something fun. Hopefully something better, because I really want a better book than the one we've just chosen. So let's pick the very last prompt for this video. Okay. That one. That one got stuck to my fingers. Oh, okay. Oh, how the tables have turned. This one is reread a favorite. I get to reread a favorite book. Okay, this is obviously the redemption arc, because after having the stupid DNF thing, I now get to reread a favorite. So I'm excited. What should I pick? Oh my god. Suddenly like a whole world of options has opened up, so I get to reread a favorite. I'm so excited. I think I'm actually going to reread an ebook, and that is because this month's book club pick for the book club that I'm in is The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I have already read that book, I think sometime last year, and I really enjoyed it. I give it 4.5 stars, and it is our book club book this month, so for June. And I wasn't initially planning to reread it because I feel like I still remember it quite well, but if I do want to participate in the live show and like just have a really good memory of the book, I feel like I need to reread it, so I might as well just reread The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Oh my god, that is exciting. I'm quite keen, so mentally put that book on the TBR. I don't have it physically, but I will be rereading the ebook for that one. That one is kind of a story of like a bit of a haunted house situation. So we follow a young girl. She's like a live-in nurse, like a live-in kind of caretaker for elderly people, and she gets a job at this murderous house. So she cares for a woman who has apparently murdered her entire family, but is now like completely paralyzed. She works with this woman, and suddenly weird things start happening. She starts like hearing footsteps, hearing people talk where there shouldn't be people, and like this woman who is paralyzed is suddenly like making noises in her room that she shouldn't be able to make. And so it's a super interesting story, super fun, very creepy. If you're looking for a good thriller, I very, very highly recommend that one because it's super fun. Obviously a bit unrealistic, a bit over the top, but just really, really good, and it really kept me on my toes and was really exciting. So if you haven't picked a thriller yet for your summer TBR, I would definitely recommend The Only One Left by Riley Sager. And that is it. Those are all of the books that I have chosen for my TBR this month. So let's go through them one by one and quickly go through them again. So here is the stack of the 5 physical books that I've chosen. So we've got That Green-Eyed Girl, Mother Thing, Business or Pleasure, Exciting Times, and last but not least, My Best Friend's Exorcism, and then obviously The Only One Left by Riley Sager as well. So all in all, I'm excited for this TBR. I think we've picked some good choices. I think I'm definitely most excited for My Best Friend's Exorcism as well as Business or Pleasure, because I think those are 2 books that I've been really keen to read, and they're both books that I think will be really fast and very quick reads. So I'm excited for these 2 the most, but I'm excited for all of them, obviously. And yeah, I hope you had fun choosing my TBR for the next month with me. Every single month I pick books that are so out of my comfort zone or so like unexpected. I think I'm starting to read books in a much different order than if I wasn't making these like choosing my TBR videos. So I'm really excited. I hope we can keep this tradition alive and do this every month because I'm having so much fun, and it definitely helps me to get through my TBR differently than I usually would. So yeah, exciting. I am now going to tidy up all of the books that I've pulled out from my shelves in the process of this video. But I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.